A levy is one of the primary ways to raise revenue for community services. This levy was established for communities to be able to support the operation of cultural and scientific facilities, just like the Grout Museum District. The Grout Museum District is a private, not-for-profit organization. It has been a cornerstone of culture in Northeast Iowa since 1932, when Henry Grout's collection first went on display in the old YMCA building. In 1956, the Grout Museum of History and Science opened. Through the years, the Board of Trustees has been entrusted with the management and oversight of the Rensselaer-Russell House Museum, the Bluedorn Science Imaginarium, and the Snowden House. In 2008, the Sullivan Brothers Iowa Veterans Museum welcomed more than 2,600 visitors on its first day. Last year, the museum district served more than 100,000 through outreach, programming, and exhibits. The museum district is funded through a mix of revenue that includes 35% private contributions, 24% earned revenue, such as admissions, memberships, and rentals, 20% endowment, 14% grants, and 7% government. While your property taxes do support other quality of life entities, the 7% of government support that the Grout receives is from all levels of government, federal, state, and local, and is mostly awarded through competitive grants tied to specific projects. The amounts awarded vary widely from year to year, and the planning required to use these funds wisely, if awarded at all, must happen months before the outcome of the application is even known. The revenue will be used to make the GMD more accessible. The museum district will increase hours, including Sunday afternoons and at least one night per week. Admission to the Sullivan Brothers Iowa Veterans Museum will be reduced to $5 from $10, which will make it more affordable. The Science Outreach Program will expand a well-regarded STEM enrichment in the classroom program to all classrooms in the Waterloo Elementary Schools. The levy rate of 27 cents is estimated to generate $500,000 to $600,000 a year. Levies are calculated on the assessed value of property. For example, a home with an assessed value of $100,000 has a taxable value of $53,000, which would cost that homeowner $14.26 for 1 year. A levy will provide a reliable flow of revenue that will better support planning and strategic goal setting. The museum district will continue its dedication to seeking diversified revenue streams. However, there is no one source that can provide the stability that a levy could. The average museum only receives 2% of its income from granting sources. At 14%, the museum district is extremely competitive in seeking grants and will continue to do so. But granting sources are inundated by requests from not-for-profit and government organizations. They are almost always project-specific and time-sensitive. These sources also routinely seek new programming to fund, so long-term ongoing programming may be hit negatively. Granting sources are also affected by economic and political trends, so the amounts available to award to applicants varies from year to year. The Grout is in line with the national average for earned revenue. Growth in museum sales and rental fees is steady, but industry standards show that this area seldom rises higher than 30% of total income. Grout staff and board members have worked diligently the past several years to align its revenue from contributions with the national average. Philanthropic individuals and businesses in the Cedar Valley stepped forward and met that challenge. Just 3 years ago, the Grout only raised 15% in private donations and is now nearing the national average in this category as well. The H.W. Grout Trust was hit with significant losses in the 2008 economic collapse. It only generates $75,000 in income each year. That cannot sustain a quality museum such as the Grout Museum District. As plans for the Iowa Veterans Museum were developed, it was clear that public support would be necessary to support this statewide initiative. This is the only area where the Grout does not meet or exceed the national average for museums. The City of Waterloo's resources are already strained. Hotel, motel tax grants are used to support efforts to draw visitors to the area and is not intended for operational support, so a new levy voted in by the citizens of Waterloo is the next logical step to support this community treasure. Without the levy, keeping the museum's current hours and quality will become increasingly difficult. The Board of Directors will need to revisit the mission of the museum district to determine which aspects can be continued and what might have to be eliminated. The history, educational opportunities, tourism, and quality of life your museum brings to the community may suffer as a result. Vote on November 5th. All registered voters living in Waterloo will be able to vote on this levy. If you would like to vote early or by absentee ballot, please contact the Blackhawk County Election Office for more information or visit the website of the Secretary of State at the web address on the screen. We hope that we will be able to count on your support.